Hey everyone, Cody Menz here. I have another WoT's new video for you today. Pretty big day too. I'm not going to go into super in-depth for some of these things because today the public test 1.10 should be coming out, and basically we're going to have a lot more details once that public test goes up, a lot more in-depth into each one of the tank rebalances and everything that's going to be coming with this patch that's due, basically in several weeks here. But as of today, you should be able to get onto the live server, the live test server, basically to test it. It was supposed to start yesterday, but they delayed it by a day. This is kind of being rumored and coined as one of the biggest patches basically for this year. It is celebrating the 10-year anniversary of World of Tanks, since that kind of comes up in August, and basically this patch is going to be pretty massive. Now, to start off this video, before I go into kind of like what's happening, you probably saw the title, How to Make Millions of Credits Really Easy Without Even Leaving Your Garage. Basically, one thing that a lot of players kind of forget, and recently, like I do this I'd say like every couple months, and even for someone that has done this quite recently, I basically have made a ton of basic credits. Like I'm at about 3 million credits over the past week as kind of selling things. And if you're someone who doesn't care too much about like decals and like inscriptions and emblems and different stuff that you can sell, that Wargaming gives a lot of 2D styles out, 3D styles now for like tank rewards, the battle pass, and like highway rock, basically, and just missions in the game. You might have millions of credits that you literally, even if you've done this over like the past year or so, sitting in your garage right now. And with like new Polish tanks possibly coming, which, as of this video, the stuff in the 1.10 update that's going to be starting testing tomorrow aren't confirmed, but heavily rumored and semi-confirmed. It's some pretty exciting stuff. These credits could really help you. Just for example, like going through the decals here, like I just sold a few of them to where I earned 1 million credits pretty freaking easy for just right after my stream here. Between doing that and this video, you can go through and like, if you don't want to put whatever the hell this thing is, a Griffin, on your tank, I've got 3 of them. I have no idea how I have 3 of these things. I like putting 2D styles and like 3D styles on my tanks, but I don't care too much about adding like little decals to where you can't sell all of them. But basically just going through, and I've sold a lot of like these standard ones, you can't sell like special ones. Just going through and kind of checking to see what you can sell and can't sell is pretty useful. And usually towards the left is things that you can sell, like going into emblems here. Like say basically the American flag, 10,000 credits. You can earn, and if you've never done this before, especially, they used to hand out a lot more of them, but even so you get quite a bit. You can earn a lot of credits from doing this. So I just wanted to go over that first. So, what's going on in the rest of the game? Basically, let's pull up here. Let's start out here. Twitch Prime package. You have July's that just popped up. As of today, you can get some goodies. Make sure you grab it if you have not. And specifically, there's some, extras in here like discounts on tanks that you can buy if you don't own them, and basically some other rewards such as, a unique commander. You got some training booklets, World of Tanks premium account, a bunch of cola, which you can also sell if you don't use food, and some goodies. Make sure you get it if you have not already. This is where the update 1.0 was supposed to release today. They have on worldoftanks.com.eu, they're improving the communication, the heads-up display, the mini-map in standard battles, where you're going to be able to basically signal different things in the battle a lot better than you currently can. Like you're going to be able to basically point out different things and make different markers. And from my understanding, they're also going to be limiting minimap pinging, like excessive pinging. So there's some cool changes here. They've been working on this for a while. Honestly, it seems like a nice change to where, will everybody use it? No. Will it fix basically stupid teammates not playing tactically? No. Will it provide you more options to where you can do stuff? Yes. To where it seems like a good change to me. Like, it's not any more annoying than someone pinging a square already. and it gives you a lot more options to non-verbally communicate with your teammates, which is awesome. As you can see here, this is Pearl River as well. That's coming in the next update. So it seems pretty cool what they're doing. I'm excited for this, to where I think it will help out. Is it going to be revolutionary and, you know, everybody's going to be able to do it? No, but it's going to be nice to where it might actually get, you know, I'm most excited for, hey, look, there's a tank here. You should know that there's a tank here that's going to shoot you. And then people don't realize it. Maybe pointing it out and they see it on their screen helps them a little bit. 10-year anniversary. Basically, Tank Brawl is coming back, where unfortunately it is limited in the amount of time it's going to be up. So it is difficult for some people to play it depending on your time zone. However, you can get some goodies, some 2D styles, you know, some basically decals and emblems like we just went over, albeit all of these I believe you can actually sell. So, you know, basically some cool, nice things. I like the goalkeeper style, to be completely honest. And, you know, some like nice, lighthearted gameplay. You know, rank battles coming back. Awesome. The Concept 1B, which is a tier 9 American heavy tank, is going to be kind of the main prize here. Pretty excited. This tank looks pretty unique and fun. Basically, they revamped this where decrease the amount of chevrons basically that you need to get. Awesome. And placed more importance on playing the leagues at the end. They get bonuses for like discounts, bonds, and stuff like that. They will also be updating the bond shop, where despite, you know, I'll get to that in a second, you still have a chance to get the KPZ 50T. You can also get a unique 3D style for the Progetto, but basically playing in leagues and stuff, you can get discounts basically on bond items, which will be pretty nice. And also the new bond items, because they are not removing them from my understanding. I'm most excited for these two tanks. They're not the best tanks out there, but they are pretty rare. They're unique, and I'm pretty excited. They're going to be updating the bond shop from this point on, from my understanding, every 6 months. So, you know, the next refresh should be, you know, towards the beginning of next year, probably coinciding with, you know, another rank battles. But I'm kind of happy with what they added here. Some people were disappointed there's not more tier 10s, but in any event, I think it's, you know, a nice change what they did for this. I kind of disagree though with them doing this, and let me know your opinion on this. I don't disagree that, say, the chieftain needs to be blocked. However, I think what's going to happen is, if the player base, as collectively we stop complaining about certain things like this, it's never going to get balanced. Because let's be honest, who here thinks an M60 should be out of rank battles? Nobody. Like the 279E early, maybe, but even then, it's not great against tier 10s. Like that tank's mainly gets unbalanced against tier 8s and 9s. It's really just, they should rebalance the chieftain and basically make it so it's not just completely unbalanced and broken. This is a band-aid. I hope it's temporarily, and they actually address the problem at hand instead of trying to turn a blind eye to it. And ultimately, all this is going to do is it's just going to push people towards playing freaking Super Conquerors, which you're just going to hold down, you're going to chuck Hesh at each other and spam basically premium APCR, and that's it. It's gonna be the same annoying gameplay, except for now, you know, chieftains, at least you could spam HE at them a little bit better because they didn't have space armor. So it's still going to have that same annoying gameplay. It's just a little bit slower getting to places. All in all, though, rank battles, I'm kind of excited for them. They're still going to be pretty frustrating, honestly, for those expecting, you know, the gameplay to change and be a lot less toxic. I am the bearer of bad news here. It's still going to be toxic. It's still going to be frustrating to play. But guess what? I want that tank because it looks weird, it looks funny, and I want it. So there's that. In any event, let's get to version 1.10. The first public test. It should be starting today. If not by the time this video comes out, about 2 to 3 hours afterwards, around noon Eastern Standard Time somewhere. Polish tanks are supposed to be added, and this isn't all confirmed, so this video I might be wrong here, but basically this is what is semi-confirmed. And usually, so Rykozet and also WoT Express, which you see me link a lot to here in these videos, and all these links are in the video description that you can find and basically click through. Usually they don't post things that are too far off from what's going to be happening. New Polish tanks, awesome. Redesigned Pearl River. Basically, this is a map that used to be back in the game, 2012, 2013, I think it was removed sometime around there. They revamped a lot of the southern area, a little bit of the center. It's a pretty cool map. Is it perfect? Not really. It is a map to where I feel like it's going to be difficult for people to play and definitely get used to, because as you can see, there's a lot of little different routes. There's a lot of basically soft ground that can really screw you over. And, for those that don't exactly like, fast tanks zipping around all over the place, this is probably a map to where you'll grow to love a little bit, just because the open areas are a little tough for them to maneuver, super well. And if they use the harder ground, the paved roads, you're kind of funneled into spots without being 100% restricted. There's still spots for you to flank because it is a really large map. I'm kind of happy it comes back because I think the gameplay on it is actually pretty fun, because it has a couple areas that you can play for like slower, clunkier tanks, and there's enough area for mobile tanks. For the most part, the biggest changes coming 1.10. It's hard because I can't say 1.1 because it's technically that's not true. It's 1.10 or 1.10 or whatever. In any event, they're redesigning Prokopivka, Roenberg, and this also should translate to Cliff. These changes I've gone over in previous videos. Again, I'm not getting into super in-depth, but the changes are nice. Roenberg's larger, a lot more playable area. Cliff, they balance and basically they buff the northern side quite a bit to mirror the advantages the southern side has. Prokopivka, they rebalance the hill a little bit to help the northern team out on the hill, but also balance and help the top team a little bit differently from the south, and also kind of deepen a couple little spots hill-wise in the center of the map to make the gameplay a little bit better and less just flat campy, without changing it too much. And the changes look really good on these maps. There's also changes coming up for Empire's Border, Minsk, that are not in this patch, and I believe Mountain Pass they are reworking as well to help the southern team. The huge change though, so basically rebalancing and buffing, basically the IS-4 line, T125 line, E100 line. We don't know the exact changes because on Super Test they're probably going to change from what we saw on Super Test to now. I am super hopeful, and I'll probably be depressed if they don't do something more to the E5, T125. All we saw was basically a gun buff to it. I personally think that they should add the 10 degrees of gun depression, a little bit more mobility, and a little gun buff to it. But that's just me. It shouldn't get the cupola removed. That's just stupid. The cupola is fine as a basically say weakness on it, as long as they buff other things to make it fun. The Renegade's fun at tier 8, and that has a giant cupola on it. Plus it's even weaker for its tier. IS-4 line, basically you're seeing some turret overmatches get removed. The guns are getting a little bit more higher alpha from my understanding, but a little bit derpier with accuracy. But again, don't know the exact changes with that. E100 line, a lot of turret armor buffs. And honestly, so turret overmatch roof removed, say on the Tiger 2, which is amazing, but basically some armor buffs on the front that is much needed, but when they come around with ammunition changes, won't be super over buffed and will need to be removed. Basically, they're just fine-tuning it a bit and raising it up a little bit, and they'll actually be pretty nice changes. But again, we don't know, and this is why I don't want to go into super in-depth and go over every little change. And they're nerfing basically Progetto line a little bit, and 430 Uline. Basically 430 a bit with the armor, specifically the cupolas. Progetto, they're nerfing a bit with the DPM, and also I believe the gun handling slightly. It's mainly just removing the gun rammer unless they kind of backtrack. Otherwise, adding in some tanks for people to basically test, super tests, and like new tanks. That's kind of standard. Steel Hunter gets added into the game because that's coming up soon here. So I'm sure they're basically going to be data mining to see, because apparently there's a second map for Steel Hunter this year as well. A lot more customization, a lot more depth, and honestly stuff for anti-cheating when it comes to people rigging it. And last but not least, so new personalization elements. I believe what they're referencing here is, I believe Wargaming's working further towards more the 2D and 3D styles, where you, and specifically the 2D ones, where you have a lot of the emblems attached that you can't remove and change. They started with the last patch kind of opening that up a bit. I believe it's going to be more of that, and possibly adding like different elements to your tanks. But in any event, this should be a pretty cool update. You guys will know more than me, but by the time I stream, probably tomorrow night, I'm going to try to stream the public test server, which as of this video, it should be actually tonight, because I'm busy working. Last but not least, just remind yourself to log in for the Highway Rock, basically stuff. I'm personally a little bit annoyed because I've already completed it, and it does not let you buy anything else after you complete all the grand prizes. So unfortunately, I'm going to get all these miles and stuff, and from my understanding, you can't actually get any more than what you get here, and then basically the grand prizes. But pretty cool stuff. This is the best camouflage in the game. Prove me wrong. And don't forget your tank rewards either. You're not missing out. Like, it's not done. You're not going to be able to pick stuff because it's not the end of the month yet, but just remember to redeem some stuff. Anyway, though, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next week. And yeah, hopefully this patch, you enjoy it. It's going to be a pretty awesome patch from my understanding. Just looking at what's coming, I'm pretty excited. We get new tanks, rebalance tanks, maps, map changes. There's a lot of stuff here. This is a really good patch. But anyway, see you guys. Have a good one, and see you next week.